shout out for Chill Astronaut, the channel, for helping this video. But what we are going to be doing is 1 hour of Jedi training for what I always do once I'm done with the regular Jedi training video. So I guess this will just be a Jedi training number 4, a real Jedi training video. Now, what better way to start with your training than a peaceful music video by our friends Chill Astronaut, Star Wars Edition Remix. If I can get it to stay on here, and I will have a chill ally with me to do the meditation, like with you. Ready? Let's go. Breathe in, breathe out. Close your eyes. Think hard about the Force.
Like my father before me.
And reach out. And try and get the Force. Once you know you finally reached out to the Force, you will feel the Force dancing and flowing through. Breathe in. Once you feel that, you'll feel the Force flow in. If they breathe out, you'll feel the Force flow out. Close your eyes and lay down if it's more comfortable. I rather lay down. Breathe in, breathe out. Doing good. Now what I want you to do is take a break, run around, play, do whatever feels necessary, pause the video for as long as you want. But now we're getting on to our next subject, which is balance. A lightsaber would also be good in your balance, helping you wield the Force like a real Jedi. It is a weapon of a Jedi, only used for self-defense and defending others, never for attack. Or also it is used for helping many. For I will do a balance training video. Now I am warning you, do not go very high on this, for it can be dangerous. For I am only doing this for entertainment purposes. and be aware of the unawareable. So I have got training graphs here. I will start with the unamainable Jedi balance. Let's tackle the trickiest part. Balance with the Force. Just trying to remember Yoda's words as do or do not. There is no try. Trying is only for the weak-minded. For the Force will guide you. The Force always does. It can make you do unimaginable things. Very, very cool things. But not to be overgranted by the Jedi. Where I'm trying to find the best position Now try this at a very small height. If you are younger. If you are a little bit older. Be wise and cautious about your surroundings. Make sure you're in a safe ground distance from everywhere. Be careful. For balance is not only in your body, but in the Force too. For words cannot describe the Force, but a small amount of it can. The Force is like an electric beam through everywhere in other parts. Like, for instance, you're athletic. Would help you, not so much with the Force, as if you don't use it that much, you just rely on your athletic skills. I'm a Jedi that mostly uses the Force for any means purpose, for either helping someone or trying to destroy evil. Now I've only gotten to like a few duels, for that is a great thing. Because in one of the duels was very, very risky. But I beat a few of them and got away from more than I would like. Because getting away from a duel means you're letting a very bad person get away from the truth. The truth of the Force wields the galaxy's combination, or combination. Which that word, for me, basically is balance. Balance in the Force, like I told you, from the balance session that I try to show you guys, and for you guys to follow. The Force's balance is like keeping more than several galaxies in straight motion. Which, as I say, I cannot explain the Force fully, since it is a big thing in Jedi culture that I have not studied most on. But once you know about the Force, it's amazing. Something you should not take for granted. Something that you should not take for being a sloppy mess. For what I'm trying to say is that the Force is only needed when it's really needed. And mostly, you can see Jedi pick stuff up with the Force and just hand it to someone, which that would help too. And which also would help with your surroundings. I'm not saying don't use the Force to pick stuff up, but what I am saying is don't use the Force for what the Force is not needed for. So, like, let's say you're in a public area. A Jedi, even if you're undercover, you want to be aware of your surroundings. Even the smallest things can get you killed, like bending down to get a pen or a pencil, or getting anything would be a risk. A deadly risk, by fact. I posted one of my videos of me playing one of the Star Wars games, and hopefully you guys might have seen it, but if you don't try and go and see it, because it would just be a waste of your time. It's just a video game. It's nothing so important in life. It's nothing like the Force or the oxygen you breathe or anything in general. It's just for fun and entertainment purposes only. Now, lightsaber dueling. Before I've made a whole lot of videos about lightsaber dueling and lightsabers in general. Which is a good part. Why do I wield a white lightsaber now? Well, one reason, one purpose. For me, the white lightsaber represents my mind. It is fully un-Sith. For what I mean by that is, it's not corrupted. It's not filled with anger at all. But blink, then what the moment is. My whole entire mind is blink. Like the lightsaber blade itself. That's what the blade represents for me. Now, I'm mostly a user of, Form 5, which is just down blocks, side blocks, up blocks. And what's special about those is basically it's a high battle technique, and mostly used by Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin Skywalker, but the lightsaber I'm wielding by Ahsoka, she would mostly use different forms of mostly attack methods, which Jedi would not like. For as I told you, the purpose of the weapon itself, it is not mainly used for Jedi to attack. More like Ahsoka would do less offending or defending than attacking. You guys might say like, oh well, her master was Anakin Skywalker. Her master was like one of the most loved beloved character that turned into the evil man we know as Darth Vader? And I would say no. For there are two things incorrect with the whole entire sentence itself. One, Ahsoka was not taught like that. She mostly thinks that defending is a little bit weaker than attacking. For what I mean by that is she thinks that when you defend, it's way slower than attacking the evil person right there. And she only defends when she's have to. More like the Sith, but she tries to get the job done as fast as she could, which I mainly respect about that. And then the second thing is Darth Vader was never an evil man by heart. He was just misunderstood and got into a wrong path that was persuaded by the Jedi to expect, and also agreeing on disagreeing with the terms of him, which always made him upset, which they should have taught him slower, of more accepting of their agreements on the council in general, if you know what I mean. The council makes debates and agrees and disagrees on different subjects depending on different galaxies and worlds and more planets, and highly correct, but there can be dark sides in the galaxy that Anakin accidentally went up to. More of, he also thought good of trying not to destroy a person that is unarmed, but overwhelmed. He was very overwhelmed. If you saw episode 3, Anakin Skywalker finishes and eliminates, what's his name? Count Dooku. Which, first, Anakin unarmed Count Dooku, and then tried to eliminate him. Which he was overpressured, and one voice in his head kept on telling him, don't do it. It is not the Jedi way. While the other voice was telling him, do it. For one voice was the light side, one voice was the dark side, and then there was also one voice in the middle. I was like, I don't know. Which side should I pick? Should I pick the light side or the dark side? Like, it's kind of like Jesus and the devil. For me, I'm a Christian, but Jesus is kind of like the light side. You pick him, you're doing good things. Not just for yourself, but for other people in general. Even the galaxy, you're doing good things. Then there's in the middle, which is life. Which is balancing both of them together, seeing which one weighs the more, which one doesn't. And then there's the devil, telling you to do something horrifically bad, and something you mainly don't want to do. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it is wrong to take advantage of what is in front of you. It is wrong to take advantage of anything. What I'm saying is just take what you need, and then you get out. And then there was always the Senate just yelling in his ear saying, do it, Anakin, do it. Which he was upset about that. Because, well, it was not the Jedi way. And that should have been the first sign of saying, well, he's a Sith Lord. And the Senate thought it was the best time since Obi-Wan was knocked out and Obi-Wan was unconscious, he couldn't hear them. So the Senate, aka the Dark Lord, tried and persuading Anakin in the dark side. But it worked. Where it was not like the best thing he could do at all. It was matter of factly the worst thing he can do in that situation. But what I'm trying to say is don't fall to the dark side. No matter how much they peer pressure you or pressure you, don't do it. When Emperor Palpatine is telling you in your ear, do it, do it, do it, what you should be saying in your head is don't. Every single time he says do it, what would rhyme in your head was don't do it. It's a wrong thing to do and not a good thing at all, by any circumstance. Now, I want to touch everything about you as a Jedi, as you are a Padawan in my class. I must teach you how to become a Jedi. By the end of this year, you would fully be a Jedi. And I will congratulate you. But May the 4th is coming soon, and I have to celebrate it. It would be awesome, and also a big honor. And I heard Star Wars is coming to Fortnite, so I might be playing a little bit more Fortnite, because, like, it would be cool, but I'm not playing it on this channel, because, well, if you look at Fortnite's ratings, it's T for teen, and this is A for everyone. So, this is basically just something for kids. Just kids in general. What I am trying to teach you guys is not to take advantage over everything and to actually be a good person in life, not just a Jedi. For you can always leave my videos and say goodbye to it forever if you don't want to be a Jedi. But also this will teach you how to be a normal person in general, like a good person and a normal person combined, as you do not make too many bad decisions. I know you'll make some bad decisions in your life, but I'm trying to prepare you all for good decisions. Now, what I'm trying to teach to you guys is the ways of the Jedi are ways you should not take for granted. You should not become one of the Sith Lords they want you to be. Then you'll just be a bad person in general. But Jedi, forgive. You forgive everyone. You just, if you're like me, you just like forgive, forgive, forgive. Never take for yourself. Mostly just always forgive. It's not always a great thing to always forgive, but there are some perks to it. By not taking advantage of the person, which they would know you're a kind person, so they would just push you to your limits. So you always gotta know when to say no. Say if this random kid named Jimmy, alright, this random kid named Jimmy just walked up to me and said, "Hi, can I have $1?" And I have like $20. And he tells me what it's for, like ice cream or something. And I'm like, yeah, sure, here. And every single day, Jimmy goes up to me and says, "Can I have $1? Can I have $1?" And I feel like I'm being pushed, and he's just pushing me and pushing me and pushing me every single day. Alright, I gotta say no sometimes. Earn some self-respect and stuff. And even though Jimmy might be a little upset, he can't blame you for saying no. Because it's your option. Always your option, not their option. Not like you're always going to have to say yes to everything. Always remember, you can say no whenever you want to. It is not their choice, it is yours. So, when you think, oh, I'm going to be a cool kid if I, do this or do that, you need to think about the future and the present and the past. You gotta think about all those things and say, is it a good reputation? Is it a bad reputation? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing correct? What do I gotta keep on doing? What do I gotta stop doing? It's basically all together as a life lesson. Now, I know you guys have been hearing me talk for a while, but this is just Jedi training in general. It can get boring times to times. And trust me, I'm not saying on your Jedi adventure in next year that you guys would be bored every day. No, you'll actually gain correct knowledge. And, you might be bored, but there's still things that you gotta be prepared for. And cool things might happen. You might even like a duel. But always think that person might get hurt in the duel. And always remember, do not hurt an unarmed person like that. Or do not kill. For that is a way to the dark side. Now, what I want you to do is prepare yourself to let go of everything you love. For if a Jedi gets everything taken away, you gotta be prepared for everything you got. Prepare to let go of it. Be prepared, because one day you might have to let go of it. Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's tonight, whether it's in 100 years, you still gotta prepare to let go of it. Because one day it's going to be gone. So enjoy what time you got with it, or with whatever you have and you enjoy. Remember, you gotta prepare yourself to let go. You can't be upset about what anyone takes from you, whether it's a Sith or whether it's just a regular person in general. You cannot be upset about it. You must be currently white-minded, or like I would like to say as in a Jedi, completely blank. Your mind is just a river. Now notice how a river gets bumpy with rocks and stuff, and it's mostly curvy. But that one day, a river can be flat. It can be straight. It can be completely normal. Now imagine that in your mind. Relax and soothe your mind, as in you're keeping yourself safe and your mind healthy. Alright? And I know we're in 2025. People can get inappropriate. Just block them out. Just block them. And if you're a younger audience, don't fall into that stuff. It is not a path you want to be in, or so ever be in. So, don't be inappropriate. Don't be mean. Don't bully. Be a kind person in general. For it will help you in a long way. A really, really long way. Before I go for it, I'll see you guys later. Okay, so now you guys are in my fort, or well known as under my bed, which there's my bed. This is a whole entire area under it. But, like I was saying, welcome. And I call this the Jedi Mind Cave. Where you can brainstorm, relax, and love in general. I love the smell of nature. It just feels special. Feels nice. just to know. But what I'm trying to say is a Jedi must have gratitude, and must love and must appreciate, but also know when to say no. But you'll learn one day. Which that was half an hour of training. Which this would only be part 1 of real Jedi training. Have a wonderful day. And may the Force be with you.